Hello, and welcome to the Lesbian Lounge, a podcast for the girls who like girls. I'm your host and your resident lesbian big sister, Juliet Taylor, and I'm here to answer all of your questions, share your dilemmas, and of course, chat about your wildest lesbian dating stories. So grab a drink, get comfy, and welcome into the Lesbian Lounge. Guys, how are you all? I feel like I've not spoken to you all in months. It's only been 3 weeks? I think it's been 3 weeks, and I promise you I'm going to give you all the reasoning, all the explanations. I have a pretty valid excuse to have been MIA, but we are back, we are raring to go. I'm not going to lie, I have tried to film this episode twice, and both times my memory card has fucked me over. So everyone just say a little prayer, touch some wood. Thank you, universe, that this episode is the one, because your gal has other things to do than sit and record the same episode like 3 times. But it's all good. I love speaking to you all, so I'm just getting to do it more. I'm just going to jump straight into it. I'm not going to, beat it around the bush. I'm just going to come out clean, tell you all why I've been missing, why it's been so long, but I promise you the issues are sorted and now life is back on track. Some of you might know, you might have guessed, you might have thought something was off, you might have figured it out by looking at my socials, but Taylor and I are no longer together, we're no longer in a relationship, we're not dating anymore. She's not my girlfriend. And I know that might be a shock to some of you because, I mean, it was a good relationship. It looked from the outside like a good relationship, and it was a good relationship. Just as we grew, obviously we got together when we were young. We were like 18 or 19. And as you grow as a person, I think we just both grew in different directions and realised that we just weren't meant to be together anymore. And it took me a long time to almost have the courage to say how I'd been feeling. But I think it was only fair on myself and Taylor for me to admit that I've been feeling this way. And you know, it's not fair on me to stay in a relationship that I'm not 100% happy in. And it's not fair on Taylor to have been in a relationship where the other person isn't 100% happy. And it was quite a scary thing to do. A lot of people have been like, you're actually quite brave for doing that, because I do think there are a lot of people out there who just are in a relationship. That's fine. It's nice. It's comfortable. Yeah, it's not great. They know maybe they could be in a better relationship that's better suited to them, but they just stay because it's the easier thing to do. And that's what I think I'd been doing. Like, you know, no one cheated. There was nothing bad happened. So there wasn't, you know, a real reason to end the relationship. But, you know, what I've realised is there doesn't need to be something horribly wrong. There can just be those little like niggly feelings that something's not quite right, or that, you know, you can see yourself in another relationship, and that is a valid enough reason to end the relationship that you're in. You know, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And I was thinking in my head, is it a hell yes? And honestly, it wasn't. So it was a scary thing to do. So that's why I've been gone for 3 weeks, because Taylor only moved out of my house this weekend. So she stayed up living with us for 2 weeks. And it just felt a bit weird to come and film the podcast, because obviously I had to talk about it. You guys are my besties. Like, I had to fill you in on the deets. But it just felt weird talking about it when I was then going to have to go home to literally share a bed with her. Do you know what I mean? So it was awkward, but I know it was for the best. I wish Taylor nothing but the best. You know, she's a great person. And I know that there'll be someone more suited to her. And I know that there's someone out there that's more suited to me. Yeah, nothing but the best to Taylor, because I think she's a great person. And I think sometimes it's harder to end a relationship when there's nothing really wrong and things are nice and things are fine, because almost you just want someone to cheat on you so you can block them and never have to speak to them again. But because that didn't happen, it's like, I don't want to have to, you know, block you and not get to keep up to date with like what your family's doing and what you're doing on social media, because we're still friends. Like, nothing bad happened. I don't want to have to block you, but sometimes it is easier when it's just a block and a goodbye, because then you don't have to think about them. But I don't know, that just feels a bit like childish to block Taylor when I have no reason to block. Like, we are still friends, we're still acquaintances, even though she now lives back in Dorset. Do you know what I mean? But it's all good. I'm okay. Like, the kids that I teach dance to, bless them, they were like, it's okay to cry. And I was like, I'm actually fine. Like, I think I had been feeling this way for a long time and was just too scared to admit it to myself and others. So I think I processed the breakup really, really quickly, whereas I think Taylor's still going through the process and stage. But I had one day of tears, and then I was like, right, let's move on with my life. I'm ready to carry on. I'm not letting this hold me back any longer. Because I think I'd emotionally, mentally, physically, all the things, I had not been in that relationship for a long time. And I was just I was asking the universe for a sign, like, help me out of this. And I think even the fact that I was asking for a sign was a sign. And anyone listening or watching, this is your sign. If you're feeling not 100% in your relationship, if you're not thinking I am so 100% in for you, if you're not thinking this is a hell yes, then this is your sign that even if there's nothing really wrong, there's no real issues, that it's okay just to leave them. And, you know, it's a brave thing to do. Like, I felt really, really scared about doing it and having that conversation, because it's awkward. It's almost like, where's it come from? Like, it was horrible, but you have to go through those few days, few weeks, few months, however long it takes you, of like that grieving process and that awkwardness, because I promise you, on the other side of it, life does get so much better. And I have noticed some massive changes in my life since, you know, making that decision to end the relationship. So as hard as it was definitely so worth it. But I'm okay. Nothing but the best to Taylor, because she is a great person, and I'm sure there's someone out there for her that is much better suited to her than I was. Enough of the sad, I guess it is, it's sad, isn't it? It's the end of an era, but like, I'm okay. Enough of the boring, sad stuff. Let's talk about some exciting things, because obviously it's been a hot second since we spoke. So I need to update you all on the events that we've had. We had one event and then we had another one because it was so popular. So on the 22nd of April, I hosted my first event at NQ64 Bar and Arcade in Newcastle, and you guys, you showed up. Honestly, I thought we'd get maybe 20, 25 people. There was 50 plus people in that room. It was wild. Me and the bartenders were just like, oh my God, because they asked how many I was expecting. I said, I'm going to say 25 max. There was over 50 of you, and we were just all like, wow. But I mean, great for them, because they earned a killing off the bar, and it was just such a good night. So obviously we had our scavenger hunt, which had questions like, find someone who met their partner on Tinder, find someone who did an Am I Gay quiz when I'm younger, find someone wearing something rainbow, find someone in a situationship, find someone not over their ex, find someone afraid of commitment, like loads of different questions. And basically you had to go around the room and find someone who was the answer to that question, which then sparked a conversation. And I'd say everyone left with at least like 3 new friends, if not way more, myself included. I've now literally used to have about 1.5 of a friend. Now I've got about 15, I reckon. Like, there was just some lovely people there. So many people came alone, and thanks to doing the scavenger hunt and just getting out there and talking, they were able to make friends. People in big groups, they were able to mingle and make friends with new people. It was just such a good vibe. There was Mario Kart, Guitar Hero, arcade games, photo booths, cocktails. It was just such a good night. And because it was so successful, last Monday I hosted my second event, which was a picnic in the park. We did a little sip and paint, so everyone came. There was good music, there was rounders. It was very like, it was so funny watching all the masked lesbians. But oh yeah, I'm going to play rounders and hit a ball, and all the femmes were just like sat watching them. It was very funny. But that was such a vibe. So everyone got a little canvas, and my initial plan was you did like a minute of painting, pass it to the next person, and then it would go all around the circle till it got back to you. But we had about 45 people come. So I was like, by the time these little canvases get around 45 people and back to you, they're just going to be so cluttered. So I was like, basically just paint your own, and if you want to pass it around in a little group, fine by me. It was brilliant. We had vaginas, we had boobs, we had Lightning McQueens, we had everything was painted, and it was just honestly such a good vibe. Like, I was probably the worst painter there. There were some unreal paintings, like some really good ones, some shit ones like mine, but it was just a good vibe. Everyone was making friends again. We had people come alone who left with friends, people who came in groups, people who came with girlfriends, situationships. It was just good vibes all round. And I've already planned my next event, which is this Saturday. So you're listening on Thursday, this Saturday, like 2 days time. myself and Natalie, who runs Rush, Girls Who Like Girls, we are hosting a lesbian bar crawl. So what's the bar that we're starting at called? I can't remember. Let me tell you. We are starting... Let me find the poster that I made. Switch. Is it called Switch? Yes. Switch Bar. We are meeting there at 7 o'clock. And we are ending the night at Rusty's. God knows what time it will be. So, I don't know. What time do we think? Sorry, I'm just texting at the same time I'm talking to you. Well, that's really bad, isn't it? 7, I don't know, 10 o'clock maybe. Hopefully it's not too late. But we are having meeting at Switch, ending at Rusty's. We'll probably do a few bars. Don't worry if you're sober. I probably will be drinking Diet Cokes. Bring your friend, bring your girlfriend, bring your extra. I mean, you're all welcome here. And that'll be super fun. And there's more events in the works. I'm planning a little pottery painting event. So that's going to be really fun. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you're following the Lesbian Lounge podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And me at Juliet Francis T on Instagram and TikTok. Because it will all be posted over there for you all. Another fun event I went to, it wasn't one of my events, it was Lesbionist at Freaky Tiki in Newcastle. That was on Sunday night. That was such a vibe. Went with lots of my new friends who I met on Tuesday and at the picnic, and we just had such a good night. There was beer pong, but it wasn't beer, it was hooch, which was actually kind of nice. I'm not really a big drinker, but I had a few cocktails, and yeah, it was just good vibes all round. Beer pong, making friends, dancing. We had a very impromptu, what do we call it? A magic dyke performance, because who needs Magic Mike when you can have Magic Dyke? It was brilliant. So we had that. It was honestly just like good vibes all round, just mingling with queer people. And crazily, there was a girl I went to school with there. I actually didn't recognise her, but she came up to me and was like, "Did you go to Pont High?" And I was like, "Yeah, did you?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What year did you leave?" And it turns out she was 2 years above me at school, and she was like, "I would never have thought you were gay." And I was like, "Well, here I am." So that was really cute. And honestly, it was blowing my mind. People were coming up to me being like, "Oh my God, I follow you on TikTok. Oh my God, I listen to the podcast." I was like, what the hell? Like, obviously I know people listen because I can get the stats up on my phone. But the fact that like people that I don't know, that I've never met, listen to the podcast or watch me on TikTok, it just blows my mind. And I'm just so very grateful to all of you for supporting the podcast, because genuinely I love it so much, and it's just my baby, and I've really missed filming the past 3 weeks, but I think it was a needed little break just to let my life sort itself out, let the relationship end, let Taylor move out, because yeah, I just thought it would be awkward if I was talking about it. Oh, I'm yawning. Pardon me. It's because I've been in the studio for like 3 hours filming the podcast and then having my memory card die, so yay me. But yeah, life is good. My microphone's like hitting me in the chin. Life is good, life is fine. We went to Lesbionist, we did my events. Very exciting. We had the UK's Top Influencer Awards. So if you didn't know, the Lesbian Lounge was nominated and then named a finalist for UK's Top Influencer Podcast of the Year. Now, unfortunately, we didn't win, but we did come in the top 5, which, mind blown, like actually mind blown. The fact that in the first year of doing this podcast, I've been nominated for an award, named a finalist, and come in the top 5. I mean, I could have even been in the top 3, I don't know. I just knew there was 5 of us that was like in that final shortlist, which is actually mind-boggling. Like, I'm so grateful to you guys for listening, because it just wouldn't be the same without you guys. Like, you know, without your votes, without your comments, without you all loving the podcast, it would make it so much harder for me to do, because I wouldn't have the motivation of going, there's actually people out there that I know are listening. Like, I've been getting DMs and comments from you guys like, "Girl, when's the podcast coming back? I miss it." So the fact that we've been able to create this sort of community is just so special to me, because, you know, yes, there is so much out there for lesbians and queer people now, but there's still not enough. So to be able to provide this space for you all just makes my heart really happy. So thank you all. It was such a good night. Me and my friend Chloe we were in the VIP section, so we were sat with people from Traitors, Married at First Sight. Like, it was honestly just such a vibe. I had the best time, and, you know, like, just getting all glammed and meeting all these people, hearing everyone's stories about their creator journeys, not even just the podcast hosts. There was like fashion, makeup, talent managers, inspirational, food, travel, family, like all of these different categories. So just seeing so many people from so many different walks of life and just hearing their stories, it was so inspirational and just honestly such a lush night. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to update you all on. I think they're the main things. Breakup, 2 events that I've hosted, another event that I went to, podcast awards. I think that's it, and I think I've rambled for long enough. So without further ado, let's jump straight on into this week's episode. So this week's question of the week is part 2 of what is the ickiest ick you ever got from another woman. So let's bring up all of your answers. She held a cello concert in my living room and me and my mum almost died from laughing. She left her dogs in dirty kennels for hours while she was home. How you treat animals says a lot about your character. That's so true. Like, if I brought someone home and all my pets like hated them, or like I went to someone's house and like their dogs were treated like shit, like it does give you like that certain vibe about a person, doesn't it? That you're just like, I don't know if I want to be with you, because if you treat your dogs like that, it's giving an ick, isn't it? It's giving a red flag. When she thought she could gaslight and manipulate me into being as obsessed with her as she was with me. Screamed and cried a whole tantrum because I told my hookup that I didn't feel comfortable with dyeing my hair. Mind you, this was the 3rd or 4th hangout and I told her repeatedly beforehand I wasn't doing it. But why was you so fussed about you dyeing your hair? Like, surely if you fancy me, you shouldn't actually care what colour my hair is. That's so weird. When she was seeing this narcissist who she was going back and forth between, the narcissist was going back and forth between her and another girl. She wanted me to make fun of the ex's appearance to make her feel better. Interesting. When my married best friend asked if I'd be with her and then ghosted me when I politely said no. Crazy. She stopped talking to me when she learnt that I was a Scorpio. I just don't get star signs. Like, I don't know what I'm compatible with. I'm a Libra. Someone tell me what I'm compatible with. I don't get it. And I feel like even if I wasn't, say, compatible with like an Aries, I wouldn't not date them just because I knew technically we aren't compatible, because I don't know. I just don't get all the star sign stuff. But if you do, please feel free to let me know what I'm compatible with. Her choosing a man over me, that's giving ick for sure. Let's find some. She posted every single thing about her potential partners. As in, if anyone was interested, she would post screenshots of the texts and update her socials with great detail, including the breakups. See, that would really put me off if I was talking to that person and like every single text I sent was going on an Instagram story. Like, look what Jules just sent me. Like, that's meant for you, not all of your friends and your Instagram followers. She asked what my ex looked like, so I sent a picture and she got mad and threw her phone. Yeah, that's giving red flag. When she told me, I have my options, so be lucky I chose you. I told her later on that day that I'd found someone else. Good for you. She tried to lead me to Jesus relentlessly for months and then suddenly started to compliment me and flirt. Interesting. When she kissed me in the morning before brushing her teeth, I don't care what anyone says. Common sense, it's not rocket science. Okay, I get that, but then I think if you really love that person, you don't care if they've got a bit of morning breath. Do you know what I mean? Like, get over it at the end of the day. She hung out with my best friend's abuser. That's really icky, isn't it? When I caught her at another girl's house, that's giving ick. Like, why are you at another girl's house? Surely you should be at my house. Let's do a few more. When they say that I'm jealous of them, like, for what? Her talking, this is a long one. Her talking to our father and talking to me about him while she knows he sexually abused me my whole childhood. Girl, I don't want to hear about how good your relationship with him is. I'm your sister, you're supposed to have my back. My whole family disowned me because I told the family, and she had the audacity to talk about it. Wow, that was crazy. I hope you're okay. I had recently come out as a lesbian and was dating. When I told her that I had been with a man before, she said, "Oh, really? Interesting." She told me that dating is like applying for jobs for fun. She does it just to see if she can get it, and then she ghosts. When she says she likes country music, I don't have a problem with country music. Biggest ick with other women is when they basically scream that they're cool with me being gay, but they won't mess with women and then are offended when I'm not interested in them sexually. That's the worst, isn't it? When they're like, oh, you know what's worse? When they're like, "Oh, I'm only gay for you." Like, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually fuck off. Openly flirting with another woman on our honeymoon. That's psychotic behaviour. Actually psychotic. On our first date, she started posting me like we were already dating. I left. I don't know if I'd find that cute though. Like on a first date, like, "Oh my god, let me take a photo of you, you look so beautiful." I'd be like, okay, that's fine by me. Do you know what I mean? On a first date, she took me to meet her whole family. Then would yell at strangers to let them know that I was hers. I ran for my life. Kind of fair, to be fair. After she lost her fiancé, I told her I had feelings for her. She ghosted me, but proceeded to hack and stalk me for 3 years. Frightening. When we slept in separate bedrooms before Pride because we had a huge fight over the Amazon cart. I'm going to scroll down so we get some different ones. Guys, there's so many. We might have to do a part 3. Trying to be my girlfriend after 2 weeks and also assuming things about me. See, I would get into a relationship after 2 weeks. You know what I mean? If you're with the right person, it's so valid. When my ex-girlfriend used to cause me panic attacks so she could be the one to save me from them. That's weird. When she asked me if it was okay if she slept with our mutual friend's situation because her friend group share men. That's really quite strange. She screenshotted texts and DMs from other women wanting her and would send them to me to make me jealous. Yeah, that's kind of strange. Saying they prefer guys as friends. She used to bite her toenails. That's disgusting. My ex-wife started dating and moved in with the town's very own man whore a few months after we separated. She was a Trump supporter. Toxic masculinity. She screamed at her dogs for drinking water. That's giving like red flag. Someone just commented saying dating women isn't for the weak. Kind of true. Lesbians who chase straight girls and call it a catch just for the chase. Let's do a few more. She flirted with me for weeks, only to then tell me she has a boyfriend and she wanted a 3-way because he's been good lately, as if I'm a fucking biscuit treat. That's grim, isn't it? Like, imagine flirting with someone then just to tell them, "Oh, actually I only flirted with you because I want to have a threesome with you and my boyfriend." Ew. Okay, one more. Let's find a good one. I don't remember if we did this one last time, but it's creeping me out, so we're going to do it again. She had a walk-in lingerie closet. She told me to pick something and come out in it. All different sizes. All I could think about is how many women have worn what I would have picked. I left immediately. That is frightening. Why do you have a walk-in lingerie closet? Like, surely that's... Do you know what I mean? Like, that's... You know what you're doing with that, having all that stuff there in different sizes for all these different women that you're bringing back. That is crazy. Okay, shall we jump into some dilemmas? I think so. Let's jump right in. Let me find where we're up to. Got to tap, give you some ASMR whilst you wait. There we go. Did you all enjoy that ASMR? Okay, let's jump into it. We've got a little story to start us off. I was talking to this girl, in brackets, girl A, for months, but had never met her. This was also the same year I was doing my final exams. We were nothing serious, and she was seeing people at the same time, including her ex. She was the first girl I had liked since my ex, so even though we weren't anything serious, I still cared a little when she was seeing other girls. Obviously, I didn't let her know that though. A week before my exams, I made a TikTok for the lesbians that went viral, and loads of lesbians started texting me and adding me on Snapchat. This made her realise that I had options and she started showing a lot more interest. That's the thing, isn't it? When there's that bit of like chase involved, when they have to put in the effort and they have to chase you, they love that. We started getting a little more serious, and when I was done my exams, it was summer, so I had a lot more free time to talk to her. Bear in mind, we had never even spoke over the phone, only text. It's giving a bit of a red flag. From that TikTok, I was also talking to other girls, and me and my gay besties got on really well with this other girl, Girl B. Me and my besties had a group chat with Girl B in it. We'd all call every night for about 2 weeks straight, and sometimes me and Girl B would stay up, just us, until 6 in the morning, talking about life and deep topics. So maybe you're going to start to get feelings for Girl B. All when this was happening, it was coming up to Pride, and me and Girl A had planned on meeting up with our friends in town. We ended up kissing, and when I got home, we made things exclusive. One of my gay besties was obviously happy for me, but was also dropping hints and hoping that me and Girl B would be a thing, but I never really saw it like that because I thought she was drop dead gorgeous and that I wouldn't stand a chance of her liking me, even though I was getting mixed messages. That says something though, doesn't it? Like, when your friends approve of a partner, like say they can see you with someone, like it's like parents, like they always tend to know what's best for you, because you can look at someone through like rose tinted glasses, whereas friends and family are just going to tell you straight, be like, I think you and Girl B are much more suited than you and Girl A. Like, they're just going to tell you it straight. Roughly 2 or 3 days after Pride, me and my gay besties were back in town having a few drinks, and out of pure luck, Girl B happened to be in town with her friends drinking. Her friends went home and she met up with us for a few more drinks. My friends left us alone to go to the smoking area, and she opened up about her feelings. This caught me off guard, but I was low-key buzzing. We ended up flirting with each other and ended up having a kiss. I just remembered though, you're meant to be exclusive with Girl A, and you've just kissed Girl B. It's alright though, you've only been exclusive for like a few days and you literally have met her once in person, so it's all good. I was so happy in the moment, but when I got home that night, I didn't get an ounce of sleep with the huge guilt I was feeling because I was meant to be exclusive with Girl A. Like I just said though, is that a wasp flying into my window? Like, you've only actually known each other, well, met each other in person once, so like, yeah, you're exclusive, but like, I don't think it's that bad. This really messed with my head, and I genuinely didn't know what to do for a whole week straight. Both girls kept asking me what I wanted every day, and I'd never have an answer for them, and I felt the pressure to make a choice, which made things a lot harder because I was holding on to how long I'd been talking to Girl A, but I wanted Girl B, so I didn't know if it would be a mistake. Somehow, Girl A was meant to be sleeping over at mine that Friday after her friend's party, and I was open and honest with Girl B about it. We love the honesty. On the night, Girl A got really drunk and started posting embarrassing videos on her stories that weren't meant for her story, and she was falling all over the place. This gave me the major ick, and I also didn't feel comfortable having a sleepover with a really drunk girl who I'd only met once. That's so true, so valid. I felt like a bitch, but I had to come up with an excuse as to why she wouldn't be able to stay at mine anymore. The next day, Girl B rang me out of nowhere for some reason and asked how the sleepover went, and I had to explain things to her and how I was a bit upset because I was starting to see things not working out anymore with Girl A. Girl B asked me out because she wanted to cheer me up, so we went out for food, and something about that day with her felt so carefree and nice. We again ended up kissing, and while we were, Girl A started to ring me. Oh, fuck off, Girl A. I kept ignoring her calls until she started ringing me off her mum's phone. Not the mum's phone. Imagine, Mum, can I borrow your phone? Oh yeah, what for? Just so I can go and harass this girl. I'm like, fuck off. She threatened to call my house phone if I didn't answer, and told me she would out me to my family, in brackets, I wasn't out yet at the time. That should never be something that we like threaten people with. Like, that's just the lowest of lows. That's actually uncool. So obviously that sent me into a panic. I don't blame you. From there, I ended things immediately with Girl A. Good for you. I spent that whole summer with Girl B, and we'd go out spontaneously at 5 in the morning with all our friends to the beach, have drinks, and it was a summer that me and my mates always talk about to this day. This was back in 2021. After that summer, me and Girl B dated for 6 months, but after that things got complicated because she also wasn't out and had really strict parents who didn't like her seeing me. That's the problem, isn't it? It's difficult when like both of you don't have accepting parents, because it's like, you know, normally if one parent's not accepting, the other family are. So it's like, okay, we could go and sleep over at your family's house or come to my house because your mum doesn't accept it. But when they both don't accept it, it's like, where are we meant to go? Like, we can't speak about this to any of our families. Like, it is tricky. So yeah, that's hard. She ended things with me and ended up being in a relationship with the girl she always told me not to worry about for 2 months. Brilliant. However, what goes around comes around, because I also did the same thing after I found out, and have now been with this girl for 3 years. The end. What a story. That's wild. But you know what? I'm proud of you for like just ending things with girl A, being like, no, I'm not going to let you harass me and like bully me into being with you just because you're saying you're going to out me to my family. Like, that's actually so weird and so uncool. Do you know what I mean? And at least you had like a bit of fun with girl B. And I guess not moral of the story, but good thing of the story, you're both happy. Like, you're both now in happy relationships. So you obviously weren't meant to be. You were meant to just be in each other's lives for a good time, not a long time. And hopefully you just have fond memories to look back on. But you're both now in happy relationships. So it's all good. Moving on. Let's see what we've got here. Do you have any tips for sexting? Because with long distance, it's handy, but I have no idea how to do it. Okay, so I think with sexting, the most important thing, you need to be on the same page. You need to decide. So I'm cracking my fingers. I know people hate it when I do that, but it's got to be done. You need to decide, are you literally texting? Are you sending photos? Are you sending videos? Or are you on the phone? And be on the same page. Like, when you're texting this, I actually asked my mum for his sexting tips. Not like I think Jill has ever sexted in her life. That's a really gross thing to think about, isn't it? But Jill's advice was, why don't you try telling them what you want through emojis? So instead of, I mean, not like you would just explicitly say, like, I mean, you might just be like, come and sit on my face. But could you write that in emojis? Maybe like a tongue, a face, and like the water squirting emoji. Do you know what I mean? Maybe try Jill's advice, let me know how it goes. But yeah, I think the most important thing, you need to decide, are you both just texting, or are you going to be sending pictures? Are you sending videos of what you're doing? Are you doing things to yourself and she's talking you through it? Are you both on the phone, both doing things to yourself? Are you on the phone talking her through it? Like, just make sure you're on the same page of what you're wanting to do, and just be really careful. Like, obviously you're saying it's long distance, so just make sure, like, you know, this person's actually legit. They're not gonna, like, if you are sending photos, like, you don't want them photos getting into the wrong hands. So just be really, really careful that, you know, this person is legit and they're not going to do anything with these photos or messages, because that's not cool if they do that. So just, yeah, make sure you're on the same page, make sure you know what you're both doing, who's saying what, who's sending what, and just go from there. But yeah, just be safe. Okay, moving on. Hey, hello. I'm new to all of this and I'm defo in my baby bye phase. Still trying to figure things out after a long relationship with the man. We broke up recently for other reasons than this, LOL. Okay, so you obviously broke up with the man not because you realised you were bisexual and wanted to be with a woman. Fair enough. Oh, goodness, I just clicked off it. Are we back? We're back. I had a crush on a woman last year and told her about potentially feeling things for her, but I was still in a relationship and was very confused. Don't judge. There's no judgment here ever. We ended the convo with her saying, if your man ever fucks you over, you let me know. Okay, so like she's, like you've obviously said, oh, I think I might fancy you, but I'm in a relationship with a man. And she said, well, if he ever fucks you over, you know where I am. So you know she's there for you. Okay, I like that. A couple of months went by and I'm now single. I've definitely had time to think about this more also. We message sometimes and she's always saying I'm gorgeous and that she misses me. I told her I've been thinking about her a lot and she replied saying that I'm gorgeous inside and out. I'm stuck on what to do. She's left me on red on my last message and I don't know where to go from here. I can't help but feel like I don't know where to go, or if she feels the same way, or what should I do with that being too much as she isn't the best at replying. Okay, now I'm going to say this. I genuinely think that something that is so overlooked when getting to a relationship is how fast someone replies to you. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be waiting around a day, 2 days, through even a couple of hours for a response. Like, I want speedy replies. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that I think is so overlooked when you get into a relationship, because I understand people are busy, people are doctors, people are doing brain surgeries, they can't be on their phone. But just send me a text, be like, hey, I'm really busy the next few days, my replies might be a bit shit. Like, don't just leave me waiting, because it's off-putting, and you get mixed signals, because you think we would, like, especially if you're having a sext, imagine you're like, oh, you're going to come for me, and then you get a reply 3 days later, like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to reply. Like, kills the vibe, it kills the mood. Do you know what I mean? So I personally think you can just send her another message. Like, I don't see a problem with double texting, and she genuinely just might have like forgot to reply. And you can just change the conversation. You could just be like, hey, I'm thinking about going out for drinks this weekend. Do you want to come? Like, just put it out there. Send a message. Just be like, hey, how you doing? I haven't spoken to you in a while. Like, send out a message. See what response you get. See what the vibe is. See how long you have to wait for that message. See how you feel when you speak to her. And if you're thinking, yeah, I can't do this waiting around for messages, I'm not really feeling the vibes anymore, then leave her in the past and find someone who's going to give you quick replies, because that's what we all deserve. Do you know what I mean? We all deserve someone who's going to give us those quick replies and isn't going to leave us waiting around, because we deserve better than that, I'm telling you. So there we go. Well, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this week's episode here. Thank you all so much for listening. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, make sure you download, turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Make sure you follow the podcast at thelesbianlounge.podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And make sure you follow me at Juliet Francis T, where I share all of the question of the weeks and lots of other things about the events and stuff. That's the first place you'll hear about any events that we're doing. So make sure you follow over there. We have an Instagram broadcast channel group chat. We have a WhatsApp group chat. There's lots of exciting things going on. Just the podcast, I promise you, is only going to get bigger and better. I have so many exciting plans. So just make sure you're following along. Obviously, in the description of the podcast will be the link tree to everything. Head over there, and whilst you're there, you can do our Survey Monkey, which actually, to make sure, because I paid for it again, didn't I? I need to make sure they're not going to charge me £75 again, because that was hell. I had to pay £75 twice, so I must screenshot all the responses to those questions, because that would be sad if I lost them all. And send in your dilemmas, your stories. Let me know the most lesbian thing you've ever done, and we will read them out on the podcast. No judgment here ever. They can be as wild as you want, or as tame as you want. You know, we don't judge. You can be vanilla. That's so cool. I'm probably vanilla too. Do you know what I mean? Like, just a bit of a basic gal. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbing on. I hope you've all had a lovely week, and I will speak to you all next week for a brand new episode. Love you all so much. Bye!